So you're a stay-at-home mom, and you've been a stay-at-home mom for as long as you've had your son, Charlie. Tell us about that. How do you feel?
Hmm. Well, I have a deep conviction about it. So I don't question whatsoever whether I should be his primary caregiver, whether he should be home with me instead of in daycare or with his grandma or something for 8 hours a day every day or 5 days a week. And I'm not judging anybody who chooses to do that, but I have a deep personal conviction about that. So the sacrifice that comes with that in terms of being a stay-at-home mother, I just know that this is what I want for him, for our family. And Thomas and I are in agreement about that. And I think Charlie's happy. And I think we're commended a lot about the job that we're doing. I think we're doing, a good job raising him. It comes with challenges because since I'm home, there are things that it's just easier for me to do. For example, paperwork, like places that are open 9 to 5 and you need to call and wait on the phone for 30 minutes and talk through X, Y, and Z, insurance and blah, blah, blah. These things are really annoying. All the annoying things of adulthood I take on, I feel like the bulk of them because I'm available to make those calls and all that. That's something probably people don't even talk about a lot, honestly. I feel like when people think about stay-at-home mother, they think of cleaning and cooking, but I think that's really like an under talked about like thing that moms do. But anyway, cleaning and cooking is also a challenge because it's like I stay home because of Charlie. He's the main reason. But as a result of being home more often, it also is incumbent upon me, I don't know if I'm using that word right, but anyway, to also take the bulk of the domestic duties. And I believe I ought to do it with pleasure. I don't try to pass off the responsibility. I recognize that logically I'm here to do it and I just have more time to really do those things. So, however, they're not my favorite things to do. Like I said, I'm mainly here for Charlie. Like those things are secondary in terms of why I chose to stay home, So I don't get like a ton of joy, if I'm being really honest, from cooking and cleaning. But it's a necessary thing that I do for my family. And so, that's how it's been, is figuring out how to deal with all the things that come with being a stay-at-home mom. It's not just mom, it's at home, So, dealing with all the things of home. And I admit that, that's probably a little bit of a weaker point of mine in terms of like stereotypically, ladies are supposed to be trained up to be domestic or whatever. And I don't feel too bad about it, if I'm being honest, because like I know a lot of people who do have those domestic skills and they don't have the other skills that are necessary to keep a family and a marriage. And they cook and husband doesn't even want to eat the food because the marriage is no good. You know what I'm saying? And, those skills don't really benefit the family because they can't appreciate it because there's other problems going on in the home. And so where I'm strong is in those other things. And we have a really happy marriage and a happy family in that way. And I'm a little bit weaker in the other areas, but it's well because thankfully those are secondary things. and thankfully also it's not a zero for me. I'm not like, I don't burn water. Like it's not that bad. I can keep the house up and I can cook, but sometimes it's really a struggle just to figure out, eating is a constant thing. It's 3 times a day, every day, or 2 to 3 times a day, let's say, and depending on how you eat. And so it's just like a constant thing. You can cook and kind of at some point you may lose inspiration. You may not know what to cook next or whatever. You can clean, but eventually there's some areas of the house where you have to do that deep clean, that spring cleaning, so to speak, that deep cleaning. And, that can, be toilsome or, not fun. You don't look forward to it. You wish somebody were here to do it with you, but you find yourself alone and things like that. So, but I also think though, that's where community comes in handy too. Stay-at-home mom doesn't have to mean alone, just by the way. I think in America, unfortunately, community is less, but I do think we're meant to live communally and in community and in relationship. I think that's how God designed life. But technology has caused us to be able to live a little more isolated, and that's the con of it, right? Is that sometimes it's hard to find that community, but yeah, we do our best. So yeah, long answer, but that's what it is to be a stay-at-home mom for me right now. And Charlie's still young. I don't have to do a lot of intentional education with him, but I actually aspire to homeschool him, and it is my intention to homeschool him. So now while he's young, we're not as structured, but we're probably going to add more structure as he gets older as far as education is concerned, so that he, can be to standard, so to speak, or progress well. Let me say it that way.